There's actually 2 win cons in this main deck. Alright, so Esper control. One of the reasons I've shied away from playing this archetype so far is because they just really lack ways to win the game. Winning the game with only Teferi at the end of the day is really slow and tedious and awkward. The problem is, unlike Jeskai control, which gets to play cards like Niv Mizzet and Crackling Drake and even Ral Zarek, Esper colors don't really have a great tool for closing things out. We've played Chromium, and Chromium just feels incredibly awkward and clunky. Kaya. I think there's a chance that the position the format has gotten itself into, that Kaya might actually be that main deck win condition that this archetype's been looking for. Like, there's been a lot of people playing like 1 in the main, 1 in the board. I'm just loading up and playing 2 in the main deck here. This card is relevant removal against red aggro, white aggro, and mono blue. And her plussing a couple of times to then down tick is not an unreasonable way to actually close games out once you have things locked up. And the fact that she's a threat that can close, that doubles as an answer, is reasonable. So basically this is the second place Esper list from the PT that I shoved Kaya's into the main deck of. I trimmed a couple of things. They had a card and something else. Frumbles asked earlier, what are your thoughts on errata in Standard? I don't know. Like, I don't know what you mean by errata in Standard. You mean like changing things like Ajani's Pridemate? I think things like the Ajani's Pridemate change are fine. So that's a good question. So some people have been playing Karn as the alternative win condition, and the problem with Karn being your alternative win condition is that Karn is a card that turns on their removal when he tries to be a win condition, which is not ideal. Oh, that card seems slow and clunky. Alright, well, we have 2 copies of Cry in our main deck. Unfortunately, we kept a 5-lander and have not drawn a spell, because that's just how Magic goes. Probably take Hero here. Or I just take Judy. I'm gonna take Judy. Mortify is a good fine keep. Mortify their hero. I mean, we have a number of answers to Adonto Vanguard, right? There's at least 1 moment in the main deck, and there's 2 cries. Yeah, we've got 1 moment, 2 cries, 3 contempt in the main. I mean, it's pretty good when you don't draw any spells. Hey, Toasted Mino, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Good morning. Yay, Magic. A t-shirt with a picture of Teferi that says, go tuck yourself. That sounds like a great you'd probably sell a lot of those. You'd probably sell a lot of those. Alright, so this is definitely a creature plan matchup. Negate and Absorb seem kind of medium. Probably trim at least some Chemister's Insight too. This seems reasonable. Kaya's probably not good in this matchup, right? Is probably a matchup where she's not stellar, and I'm bringing in creatures so I could probably trim her. She exiles Gutterbones, never mind. JK. JK, Kaya, you bay. Kaya is bae. She's fine. She can stay in there. She gets to gain life too once she picks things off of their graveyard, so. Okie dokie. Who's looking forward to that new London Mulligan roll? I know I am. Welcome to Magic. Welcome to Magic. Can't get here soon enough. Concur. Alrighty, so you're saying there's a chance. Thought Erasure is a card that helps smooth out our draw. It's a card that helps us hit land drops early, which is all we really want to do in matchups like this. Do not think it's worth shocking to get Kaya into play. Probably going to be pretty aggressive with this Cry of the Carnarium. Everything gets uploaded to YouTube after I'm done streaming for the day. So it'll be up on YouTube. Oh, control. It'll be up on YouTube this evening, about 8 to 10 hours from now. Well, we tried. Gave it the old college best. We hit the lands here. That's good. We kept a one lander and played 4 lands in 4 turns. All we could really ask for. Beep beep. Dead. It's really funny. I had someone leave a 4-paragraph message on my YouTube channel last night. And they were very upset letting me know that they were unsubscribing because I talked poorly about Esper control. They were just like they were very, very upset that I did not like Esper control in this format. Alright, are we done here? Super dead. I just deleted their message and removed their ability to post further comments on my channel. It's for the best, really. Thanks, Shug Damned. I appreciate the tier 2 sub. Thanks for coming back for a second month in a row. I appreciate it. Be sure to drop me a message private. Let me know which deck in the queue you'd like to bump up with that. Let's go on Equinox. Thanks for the 22 months. Yeah. I mean, Esper Control and Mono Blue were the 2 decks that had small overperformances at the Pro Tour. There. This deck is fine. It's very reasonable. It's just not good enough, in my opinion, to where if you don't enjoy tedious do-nothing control, Esper Control's not good enough to play it based on power level. I will put it towards a one of my choice then, Shugdam. Thank you. Bump it up. Matchup is really bad for the Esper side of the... It's not really bad. It's not good, though, for the Esper side of the table. I mean, no win conditions in the main deck is basically every version of Esper Control. Even this deck playing Kaya's Wrath is like... Or playing Kaya is like kind of a stretch as far as win conditions go. I think they're kind of tedious on average and only okay. It was Corey Burkhart described Esper control in a way in that if you hit all of your land drops, you're incredibly likely to win most games of Magic. The problem is that you just don't hit most of your land drops in most games. Like case in point. Without things like ops or explore creatures, you just get got too often. Alright, well that is not a land that lets me cast these absorbs, but it does let me cast Kaya's Wrath, so that's nice. They're gonna go like land, Crisis, flip their Hadana's Climb. We're just gonna get buried in the ground. Maybe if we hit land Teferi, we could be okay here. Alright, well that's actually pretty good for us. So this means that I can cast down the Crisis and then hold up Absorb here. So we're kind of bridging into an okay spot, depending on what their leftovers are. I think I have to just absorb this. I guess I could let this resolve and then Kaya's Wrath, but the problem with that is I don't have an Absorb to hold up next turn. Alright, well they have nothing going on apparently, so that's good for us. Or at least nothing for 4 mana. Wonder if we'll see another Crisis out of them next turn. Sure. I think I'm okay just taking 6 from this. Or 3. Because it could still be 6. Perfect. So I really want to draw another land here. Sweet. So I can shock in this Godless Shrine, cast Kaya's Wrath, clear their board, and then still have an Absorb up, which is nice. So we've officially entered garbage time at this point. Wouldn't be super surprised to see them concede to the Teferi after I absorb this Vivian. Ruin, thanks for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. All these win conditions.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Yeah, we get it, Teferi. You're never done.
Notice I didn't say fair.
I like a good fight. Notice I didn't say fair. That's a great voice line. Yes, this is like garbage time deck basically. Is a great descriptor. I'm only gonna exile 1 creature per activation here, just because I want to gain as much life as possible with her, I think. Garbage time. Garbage time is what we use to refer to the time between when the game is effectively over because your opponent can't win anymore because you're infinitely ahead, and when the game actually ends because they concede or you kill them. I'm pretty sure you just board in Taker and Thief in every mid-range matchup. Pretty sure that's just the plan. Kaya doesn't really have text here. Negate doesn't sound great. Kaya is a way to kill your opponent. Her ultimate actually deals damage and kills them. The format's also gotten to a point where her down tick is relevant in a lot of places. Do I cut all the Chemister's Insight and just go all in on the creature plan and board the Lyras in as well? That's probably the case, right? I think you just turn into a mid-range deck post-board in most places. Great. These Thought Erasures help us smooth out our land drops into our 4s and 5s here. Alright, well they're ready for the creature plan. They've left lava coils in. You have a potential negate next turn. Perfect. Unless this 3-2 goes the distance, this game should be locked up. Yeah, so like, I get to do this. Take Hydroid Crisis. I'm gonna bin that, dig in for a land. I get to put this into play. Next turn I get to, so I'm gonna take 9. I guess we might be in a little bit of trouble. Well, they're playing around Kaya's Wrath. That's so good for us. It's so good for us that they're playing around cards we don't have. Feel like they mistapped here. They should have left Breeding Pool up, so if they draw any other land, they could cast their thing. No, I left Kaya's Wrath is in my deck. It's just not in my hand. So like, what they've chosen to play around and what I have are two very different things. So I think I just do this plus Mortify this turn since they tapped off the negate. And then next turn I can play Lyra. I'm playing Lyra because they have negate in their hand. Mortify was an excellent draw. It lets me plus Teferi and then go ahead and kill their dragon at end of turn. Like dancing around this negate perfectly. Alright. I think we've bridged into garbage time at this point. Feels like a trash can. They weren't playing anything close to my version, Burgle. They must have been different than what I was playing. They probably weren't playing Growth Chamber Guardian, which is one of your better cards against Esper. Yeah, they had Groll Spellbreaker in their deck and Crawl Harpooner in the main. Yeah, they were playing Teamer and had Climb, but they were probably at least 8 cards off of what I was doing. I think I mulligan this. This hand is better. Not amazing, but better. Gosh, Mortify is good. This is also, so we've talked about Kaya on stream too. People have been asking about that card. Like, Kaya's also good in matches against the Search for Azcanta decks because she keeps their searches from flipping, which is sweet too. Just gonna go ahead and pass here with Absorb / Mortify up. How do we feel about Kaya pound their graveyard? I think I like Kaya pound their graveyard. The opponent's playing Simic Nexus, most likely.
This is child's play.
If they go land Reclamation, I'm a little bit sad, but if they miss, that's fine. Yeah, search is never flipping. I think I just hang tight for now. So they kind of need Wilderness Reclamation to go off, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and take that away here.
You're not welcome here anymore.
Kaya's also is kind of funny against Chemister's Insight. So, like, next turn, I can plus... I think I just let this resolve and then destroy it. No, I'm just going to absorb this. So that way I can tap out for Teferi next turn. Because Teferi might not let me hold Absorb up next turn. Now I get to exile their Chemister's Insight and their Wilderness Reclamation here. My health total really doesn't matter here, so I'm going to shock this in. Can Mortify another Reclamation. Yeah, I appreciate someone who gets it. Yeah, Kaya was really good there. What else do I want in my deck? I feel like these are the cards I don't want. I guess Cast Down is fine for killing their Krasis that are going to pressure me. They also bring in other creatures sometimes, too. I just like bring in a Lyra as another way to attack. That doesn't seem terrible. I think Lyra is better than like a Vraska's Contempt or an Eldest Reborn here. Oh, I guess Hostage Taker is okay for taking Krasis as well. Let's do that. Go 3 Taker, 1 Cast Down. They can't negate it. Yeah, that's a good call. I agree with that. Good. So here's the thing, Big Kitty, and this is almost certainly why its percentages. It is less discouraging for a lot of people mentally to see 55% than to see rank 3000. Seeing rank 3000 is discouraging for people. whereas seeing a percentage, like, it's a mental thing. Like, it adds a hurdle for people to be able to comprehend, but it's definitely hugely mental. Alrighty, well, we're gonna have to poke some holes in this one. Start by taking Crushing Canopy. Leave that land there. It's funny, so, I've talked about, I do like some programming stuff, and a couple times I've mentioned I got into Python by writing game mods for Counter-Strike Source, and, it's funny that on the game server we used to run, we ran a leveling mod, and the leveling mod, you gained experience for things that you would do while you played, and something that I used to do to screw with people was every couple of months, I would change all of the numbers in the leveling mod by a factor of 10 or 100. So before, when it cost 1 XP, you got 100 XP, and when it cost 50, it cost 5,000. And without fail, every time I would do that and I would make the numbers bigger, people would complain that it was harder to level up because the numbers were bigger, even though all the proportions were the same. That's just kind of how people work. Even though it's actually the same, it feels worse. Was it a Warcraft 3 mod? It was a Dungeons and Dragons mod. Similar to the old Warcraft 3 mods that existed on that application. Huh. Alright, well now I just take their Wilderness Reclamation, right? Not close. Trigger. Go. Thanks for the card. Another thing, and this is unrelated to programming, but I've taught math for a while, and one of the things they've done studies on that they find is that better math problems to figure out people who are actually good at problem solving versus people who are just kind of getting lucky and mushing things together is people who don't really know what's going on tend to try and use every number that you give them in a math problem to solve that problem. So good math tests will generally have extra information that's not relevant to the problem to weed out the people who are just trying to plug stuff in. So that way they can figure out the people who actually understand what they're supposed to be doing and like know which parts of the things go into the right places. I think I cast down here. I just don't want to give them a turn with this so they can put a Phoenix into play. U-White stands for blue-white. So in Magic, because black and blue both start with the letter B, we use the letter U to represent blue as shorthand. I think I just take the radical idea here, huh? Where's Micaiah at? Need Miguel. Need Miguel. Alright. There's her wrath. She knew we needed her wrath, chat, not her. So if I Teferi plus here, I think I'm just supposed to pass. I think I'm just supposed to pass here. Because if I Teferi plus and they flip the bird into play, if they flip me the bird, they kill Teferi. I don't want them to kill Teferi. I suppose I could play Tef and down tick here as well now that I don't have anything else going on. That's probably not unreasonable. It's harder for them to flip the bird without the Electromancer. The problem with this is they have 4 main deck copies of Shock, so like Teferi could die to Shock and then I'm running on E. And that's the issue with this line. At least they didn't have an opt in hand. I'm gonna hold on to 1 land for Chemister's Insight, but we don't want to hold on to 2. Want to make sure we do have enough mana into play to like Chemister's Insight and still do something with the mana. Alright, so I want to make sure I leave white mana up when I cast this. So we can cast Absorb. Man, double main deck Cry has to make this matchup kind of silly for us in a good way. Where am I supposed to hold on to that land there? So let's put this into play and then pass here. Hopefully they flip us the bird next turn, knock us to 10, and then we Cry plus Teferi the following turn. Sweet. So this is pretty likely that they flip us the bird here. Look, they found something to do with their lava coil. And they put 2 birds into play here. It would knock us to 7. That's really still not that big of a deal. Deal. Rats. I was kind of hoping they'd put another Phoenix into play, so we can exile 2. This might even be... There's a good chance... I feel like there's a non-zero chance this is a concession Teferi. Goodbye, friends. Won't you take me to garbage time? Won't you take me to garbage time? And if there was a king of garbage time, it's definitely Teferi. Definitely. Teferi is certainly the king of garbage time.
No time for a break.
No time for a break. Only thing we're here to break is my opponent's spirit. Alright, so I'm not playing the Glacial Fortress because if they don't give me something to counterspell, I want to jumpstart the Chemister's Insight. We're definitely on full-on garbage time at this point. Full-on garbage time. If I was, listen, if I was playing in a competitive REL tournament at this point, I would just put my hand face up on the table and just like let my opponent know that they can concede at any point. Just like, you just start drawing your cards face up and just be like, look, this is where we're at. You let me know when it's good, and we can move along. All right, Lyra sounds great here. Is this a hostage taker matchup? I feel like this might actually not be a Thief hostage taker matchup. You think Eldest Reborn is good against the Arclight Phoenix deck? I disagree. You want to cut Kaya against the Phoenix deck? We want to cut Kaya against the Phoenix deck? I'm not gonna, we're gonna leave Kaya right where she's at. Is that matchup where I trim Wrath? I feel like this is not a terrible matchup to trim Wrath in. Like I have Cry as a sweeper. Eldest Reborn does answer Niv. Sure, I'll bring in one Eldest Reborn. Let's try this. Sure. Because I have the Cry in my hand, I'm going to let them have the Electromancer here. Because if they use the Electromancer to flip me the bird, we just untap and Cry them. This is why Blood Crypt's in their deck, by the way. So you can cast Discovery off your red source. Bacon Bolt. Honestly, Bacon Bolt might be a reason to not board Lyra in this matchup. I've not heard back on the chair yet. Although I do have Bay. Bay is here to exile the Bacon Bolt. Kaya loves bacon, chat. She's all over it.
Somebody bothering you? I'll make them suffer. He vanished. Funny, that's what I do.
They have to keep in the Bacon Bolts because they know we have access to Lyra and Hostage Taker. And like they have things like Tormenting Voice, Charter Course, and Radical Idea to allow them to kind of cycle through those cards when they're not good. Stay safe, Giddle. Kaya might help us bait them into putting a bunch of Phoenixes into the bin. Nope, no birds yet. We're, okay, so that's a reason to bring in Hostage Taker. I was gonna say we're cold to this card, but that's a reason to bring in Hostage Taker. So I don't currently have Hostage Taker in our deck, but that's a reason to add it. Okay, what are you working with over there? We have Stroke, Pierce. So I think I just take the Ral here, and I can play through the rest of these. They named Kaya. They named Kaya with this. I just want some lands here. Yeah, what kind of pirate would Hostage Taker be if it couldn't steal spyglasses? Come on now. Think of the flavor. They want to put a Phoenix in their bin, Burgle. They're undervaluing being able to cast Phoenix in the matchup is basically what it is. They're undervaluing just casting Phoenix. Are we dead? Are we dead? We have 2 Lyra, right? But they have a Beacon Bolt? I have an Eldest Reborn. Okay. Alright, go.
To throw down the gauntlet? I am. Don't worry, I won't rain on your parade.
So, someone mentioned Unmoored versus Spyglass. And as someone who constantly trash talks Unmoored, I would like to highlight a very important difference with Sorcerer Spyglass. Sorcerer Spyglass here doesn't get rid of the cards. So I still have to draw Teferis that don't do anything. I still have to draw Kayas that don't do anything. These don't just leave cards in my deck these leave cards in my deck that don't have a text box. They answer the Planeswalker I already have in play. This card is much, much better than Unmoored. Yeah, they get to look at my hand. Whereas Unmoored is always card disadvantage. Unmoored always puts your opponent up on cards, even if you're killing something. All right, we need to draw a land here so we can Eldest plus Absorb. Gosh, we're good at this. They're going to draw 2 cards here, but if they don't draw Spell Pierce, we win. Probably, if they don't draw Spell Pierce, we likely win. Well, get to exile this. We get to mortify this. We get to play. We get a Niv next turn. Yeah, Beacon Bolt will kill Niv, but we get to Chemister's Insight and draw a few cards with it first. So like, Niv's gonna draw us 2 cards and deal some damage. It'll finish off their bird. Yeah, we timed someone out yesterday for saying negative card advantage, which is not the same as card disadvantage, which is what we're talking about here. Do I take Ral? Do I take Ral rather than play into their Beacon Bolt? I think I just take Ral.
You ready to choose wisely, because the other one's going bye-bye.
Negative card advantage doesn't exist, chat. It's made up nonsense. It's why we timed out the person who said it the other day. It's not a real thing.
Come on. I just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
So I'm through 2 absorbs. I think I take a hit this turn. I wanna find an absorb with the Rel so I can protect the Lyra here.
The search for the unknown. That's real science.
Maybe I'm just supposed to down tick the Rel. Maybe I'm just supposed to down tick the Rel. We're definitely not boarded quickly. Not having the hostage takers in was wrong because of the possibility of Spyglass, so we'd have likely won that game pretty easily if we'd have had access to hostage taker in our 60, and I did not, so we died. I want to cut here. Yeah, they have a Beacon Bolt in their discard pile. They had a Beacon Bolt in their discard pile, so the Lyra, we were dead. So I conceded instead of making them cast Beacon Bolt and then attacking. Yeah, cutting a Teferi doesn't seem unreasonable against Spyglass. Need to cut 2 more things here. Seems pretty reasonable. Looking for another land, but we've got a Scry and a Thought Erasure to get there. Perfect. Huh. I'm gonna keep her, actually. I'm gonna absorb this because it lets me stick Kaya. And Kaya actually makes our Lyra better because Kaya makes their Beacon Bolts worse, right? Which is nice. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy standard best of 3 constructed, that's definitely a channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here. We usually change decks every 60 to 90 minutes. We get a lot of variety in. As always, a shout out to my wonderful sponsors. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without all of my wonderful sponsors and subs. I'd like to mention a few of those. God, I just mush. This is live, by the way. People ask me why I don't record the ad breaks, because making it human and mushing it up on occasion is great. Quip provides wonderful, affordable, quality electric toothbrushes. If you check them out using the link bit.ly/HoogleQuip, you can get your first refill of an extra brush head, battery, and toothpaste for them for free. And if you sign in using your Twitch account when you use that link, you'll get to bump a deck in my queue for free. So thank you for checking out the sponsor. Hurly Burly Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars. They do border extensions like my beautiful basic lands here, as well as full art replacements. If you head on over to hurlyburlystudio.com, you can find a full portfolio of all of her work there. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards direct with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. And of course, InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. All right, back on into it. I think Kaya is very reasonable. I think she has text against enough decks in the format, and she's a reasonable main deck way that can kill people. Esper has such a poor selection of ways to actually end the game that I think Kaya's, like, actually in the realm of okay. I bottomed the Absorb there because against a lot of decks in this format, I need to draw removal spells with a hand like this. Search for Azcanta is a good pickup here. Hopefully gonna help us stick to some removal. A viable mono black deck in this format? I have no idea. Why does it need to be mono black as opposed to playing a second color? We have pretty good mana. Because there would need to be a compelling reason to be just mono black. I'm not sure that one of those exists at the moment. The Bio Angel deck was really sweet. I was really impressed with how that felt the last time we played it. Wow, that's rude. Really, well, I mean, the Azcanta in a way was good for us there, right? Like it was able to get them to Reclamation, so we could Thought Erasure there. I think Kaya's gonna do a Vraska's Contempt impersonation here and like play her, exile the Pelt Collector, gain 2.
Nothing not on my watch.
So, stranding removal spells in the opponent's hand has a term in Magic 2. We refer to that as virtual card advantage. We're gaining card advantage without drawing extra cards because the opponent is down this card.
I'm gonna make myself scarce.
So, I think I actually Mortify here rather than Moment of Craving. And the reason for this is, this way, if I draw a land next turn, I can Teferi plus Teferi and then Moment of Craving off my Teferi lands on tapping. Interesting that they left Pelt Collector on top of their deck. I think that's better than their average draw. Seems suspect.
isn't a fight you
Alright, because they left a Pelt Collector on top of their deck, we might actually be heading towards garbage time here. We would have been in trouble if they'd have drawn something meaningful this turn, but drawing a 1/1 for 1 means that we should be pretty far ahead. So again, just like, I like to try and, rather than just telling you, yes, this will work, or no, it won't work, I think the important things to talk about is the why. So like, in order to build the deck, you shouldn't just build the deck with the idea that like, I want to do this thing. You want to have, why is this thing good? Why is it worth doing?
hold that thought.
So like, less colors is more consistent on average, but at the same time you have to ask yourself like, is the power level you're gaining from the consistency proportional to the power level you're losing by not having access to more cards? Pelt isn't a 2/2 because the Branch Walker died as a what's it called? It died as a whatever. Branch Walker died as a 1/0. Because Moment of Craving makes it smaller. What did I do for work before this? I have a master's degree in mathematics, and I worked as an adjunct faculty at a local college. I spent some time after grad school working as a business analyst for a major insurance company. Sorry, systems analyst for a major insurance company. But one of the things I won't do here that a lot of other streamers do and people do in general is people like to come in and they just like to say, hey Jeff, give me all the answers please. And the actual thing is, Magic's not a game where you can just be lazy. There's too many, God, we're good. There's too many combinations of things in a game like Magic to be able to just know things. You have to practice. You have to have experience. And you can't just say, hey, Jeff, what do you think of this archetype that you've never played before and hasn't put up any results anywhere? Just like, the answer is, I don't know. Because I haven't done the work to practice with it. I Thought Erasure there to surveil, because I think at this point my opponent's pretty unlikely to have cards left in their hand at any point. Correct, yes. I don't know is the best answer I can give you, like, for a lot of things like that.
I won't hurry.
The first step towards being kind to smart is realizing how dumb you are. It's realizing that there's so many things in the world that you just don't know. You need to defer to other people, or do research, or get practice, or gain experience. Yeah, Mono Red's great. It's very, very reasonable, aggressive deck. At the Pro Tour this past weekend, a lot of the Mono Red decks had a splash for green cards in the sideboard.
You know what? I'm not.
And that seems very reasonable because the splash is fairly free. Like, the Mono Red decks playing a green splash is a great example of, hey, we gain power level from having a second color. Let's have the second color in our deck. We're like a Chemister's Insight away from garbage time here.
Move quickly.
Kaya's gonna buffer our health total. Mortify is a great draw because it insulates us against a possible dragon off the top of their deck. Kaya is also good against Rekindling Phoenix, yep. Which is one of their better draws at this point in the game. Alright, so definitely a Hostage Taker matchup. I don't think green creature decks are a Thief of Sanity matchup. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Anti-Trumpet. The benefit of running Kaya over Karn is that Kaya is a removal spell against the aggressive deck. She also gains you health. And the way Kaya helps you win the game doesn't involve turning on your opponent's otherwise dead removal spells. We've played a lot of games today with this Esper deck. A lot more than I was expecting, just because people have been recognizing when they're dead and conceding, which is wonderful. This is probably an okay Disdainful Stroke matchup. They have Nullhide Ferox, and they also have, for Kindling Things, they probably have Scraggan Hellkite somewhere too. Is this a Cry of the Carnarium matchup? Chemister's Insight might be a little bit slow here. Maybe I trim that since I'm bringing in Hostage Taker as card advantage. Kaya's probably not good enough to leave both in. Probably don't ever want to draw two of her. Now I have Mortify against Cindervines. Negate is really narrow. I think this just isn't good enough on the draw. I think I'd consider keeping this on the play. But on the draw, it just doesn't do enough against a deck that's going to play to the board very quickly. Alright. London Mulligan win, please. Everything worked out. You think chess is more complicated than Magic? No. Magic, there's a lot more permutations than chess. A lot more permutations. Contractually obligated to say nice things about it for YouTube. Alright, what are we doing here? Nullhide Ferox is pretty annoying. Phoenix, I can Hostage Taker of Vraska's Contempt, so I think that's fine. We're just taking that one. Oh my god. Alright. I get it. Listen, shh. We're talking and playing at the same time. We're talking and shame. This hand's great on the play. I'm gonna keep it. Are you not entertained? Listen, chat, all I'm gonna say is from here on out, we probably can't lose this game, so it's all okay. I just really wanted to be on the play. It was the quickest way to get there. Quickest way to get there was concede. Counter your spell, play my Teferi. Really? What is in their hand? Yeah, for those wondering why I didn't play Teferi that turn, this turn I would have been able to play Teferi and leave Absorb up, and Teferi's much better when he has a little protection going around. And like my opponent could have like untapped and played a dragon. So we're a little bit behind at the moment, but Search is flipping soon, and I have a backup Teferi in case they pressure this first one out of the game. Yep. Yeah, we're flooding a little bit, but like we're still at 26, so it's like not that big of a deal. If they Colossus here, and I bin... So now if I bin the top card of my deck with Azcanta, I get to flip it, which is nice.
Now what?
I just play this in plus.
No time for
It lets me draw a card and then activate Azcanta this turn. Which sounds good. We get to start digging from here on out.
Time for plan B.
Hey, Backno. Thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate that.
Keep up the pace.
Keep up the pace. BJ Roth, thanks for the prime. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Maybe I'm supposed to dig for Mortify here. Do we just, like, tuck Rhythm, play second Teferi next turn? I guess I could also get double Azcanta activations in, which is nice. Double Azcanta likely finds a Mortify to kill this.
No time for a break.
Easy game. Not playing out the second search for Azcanta because right now Teferi's untap trigger lets me activate Azcanta again, which is ideal. I think we're basically on full-on garbage time at this point. So, I didn't say Magic was easier than chess. The question that someone asked that I scoffed at was solving Magic using a computer versus solving chess using a computer. So, solving Magic and finding optimal decks using computer software is much harder because of the number of permutations of things that go on in a game of Magic versus solving even standard in Magic, much less something like Legacy or Modern. So it has nothing to do with the complexity of the games or how easy they are for humans to master. We're talking purely about Magic and having a computer solve games of Magic. Dassy, thanks for the prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Magic has a lot of uncertainty, which chess does not. Even just match to match, Magic has a lot of uncertainty.
We need to move quickly.
Ooh, I like a good fight. Notice I didn't say I was really good at banishing things.
We really need a garbage time emote. Might have to have my buddy work on one of those. Oh, I did bottom a bunch of Kaya's Wrath last turn. JK. JK! JK. What's the win condition of this deck? The win condition of this deck is not losing. I forgot to activate my Teferi. I just assumed I had activated it because there were so many cards in my hand. Just the sloppiest slops. Did I not board Lyra in? Did I seriously not board Lyra in? I didn't board Lyra in. That's awkward.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. Look, I activated Kaya, okay? I activated the important Planeswalker.
Funny, that's what I do.
So I've now seen my entire deck, so I know what my activations are gonna do. I guess I just play this hostage taker out, because why not? This is our first opponent that's made us play through garbage time since we've been playing the deck today, which is nice. Put my clock into play.
I'm not done yet.
If they have 8 cards in exile, have an untapped land. Kaya means we don't even die to Banefire.
With each turn of the clock, your reality will crumble.
Can you just, like, feel the sodium pouring off of their screen during situations like this? This is why I would never play this deck at a tournament. Because if you play this deck at a tournament, people make you kill them like this. You just would never get to eat lunch. And let me tell you, getting to eat lunch in a Magic tournament is a severely underrated thing. Sure. Make sure you eat. Yeah, I can't deck out. Yeah, people are thinking I might deck. Teferi tucks himself back into my deck and prevents decking. Oh no! Oh no! Not a powerful enchantment. How will I ever deal with that? I like the Teferi emblem plus Kaya synergy. That's just good. It's just good clean living right there.
Keep up the pace.
Oh, I can exile cards from my graveyard for life. That's exciting.
Hey, that's what I do.
That's exciting. I didn't realize. I have some untapped lands, opponent, because I'm a giver. Weevil stabilized. Feel the pain of every outcast thing. Ka-cha! Alright, I feel like the masochists in the audience are enjoying this, so I'm gonna play one more. I'm gonna play one more and then we're gonna move along to Dire Angels. Maybe we'll be gifted another opponent who concedes when we hit garbage time. That's why that one took so long, is our opponent was dead and they kept playing. Oh no! Oh no! I don't know if I have the heart to play a mirror, chat. I don't know if I have it in me to play a mirror. I don't know if I have it in me to play a mirror match. All right, their hand is awful. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yay! Yay! Winning because their hand is bad. Yay! They could have a main deck Negate or a Syncopate. Oh, this game is easy. This game is easy. Look at what a skilled magician we are. We didn't draw Cry of Carnarium in the Esper mirror. We instead elected to draw good cards.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Drawing good cards is busted, chat.
Really should have seen that coming.
Really should have seen that coming. It's okay, Teferi. I forgive you. I forgive you. We have replacements.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
Do I bring in Hostage Taker to take their Thief of Sanity? I probably do, right? Is that a thing? I don't know, this board plan seems pretty good. I like all my ins and outs here. I don't know that I have anything that I want to cut right now for Hostage Taker. I'm just going to submit like this. I have removal for Thief. I have 3 Mortifies, 3 Contempts, and an Eldest Reborn. That seems like plenty of removal for Thief. Is Kaya the one that comes out? Poor Kaya. Yeah, Thought Erasure is removal. I agree with that. Gosh, all these spells are good. Who's excited to concede with never having another land? Oh, gosh. We even get to play Magic? What a gift. What a gift from above. We've been given the gift of getting to play Magic, chat. Oh, we're so good at this. Why are we so good at this, chat? We are unreasonably good at this. That one. Ooh, candy! That's exciting. That's rude. That's incredibly rude, opponent. Ooh. Hey, Squibfish, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, they have Eldest. So the hope here is they play Eldest, Edict the Thief, we draw land, we play Teferi, tuck their Eldest. And, like, we have Absorb to catch the Eldest on the way back around. And if we don't hit a land or a Mortify, we'll just concede and go to the third game. Alright, look at that. Continue playing Magic.
Right on schedule.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to the build-arounds, Marty, until Thursday, because I'm not going to have time to build decks tonight. I didn't have time last night either. So normally I do the build-arounds for over the weekend, and then when people add them late, I don't always get to them right away. There's another build-around that's pretty high up there. Wow, Stone Cold Nothing. That's good for us. Big fan of Stone Cold Nothing. So they need land plus Negate to pair with this Eldest Reborn, and even then I have another Teferi. Probably see a Jumpstart Chemister's Insight here. Work through some of the filth in their hand. Yep. Oh, they can flip the Azcanta, and then they can have it absorb here along with their Eldest Reborn. That opens them up to a lot of things. And they know about this, so I assume they're about to fight back here. Yep. Do I don't think I tuck it again. I think I just play through this.
Skip to the good part.
I think I just play through it at this point. Because tucking it means they get to grab it and kill my Teferi again. Yeah, tucking, I agree. Tucking it was right when I have Absorb, but like, with them having flipped Azcanta and me having another Planeswalker, it really doesn't seem right.
We need to move quickly.
Huh. Alright. Yep. Might be dead here. I don't think we are, Burgle. Anchor, I think we're behind at the moment.
Let's take it back.
Well, that's the land I wanted for Christmas. So you need them to not have 2 counter spells here. Gosh, they have enough lands to Azcanta into an Absorb here too. That's just a Karn. They already had it. Rude. Rude. Alright, we're gonna concede as we head into garbage time here. This is another reason I would never play this deck at a tournament. These mirrors are just pure misery incarnate. Seeing how good Azcanta was there, I'm gonna put the Kayas back in my deck. I think they're pretty important. To Esper Crisis. Thank you, Swift, for the biddies. Sounds like not good, but I think it's the range of keepable. What abomination is Esper Crisis? It's Esper Control splashing green for Hydrate Crisis, of course. It is in the deck queue. They are not lying. I'm gonna pass this turn. I'm gonna Thought Erasure this turn, because now if they want to absorb my Thought Erasure, they have to not cast Chemister's Insight this turn. Take their absorb. I'm gonna keep that land on top. Because last turn, they definitely would have absorbed my Thought Erasure if they didn't have anything else to do with their mana. But this turn, they have to make a decision. Alright, so if they hadn't absorbed, they would have shocked in for it. So I'm going to go ahead and Mortify here during their upkeep. They have a Negate, they have to spend mana on their turn. Which is nice. Alright, so their Azcantas are gone. So we got at least 2 of those out. So that's good. Yeah, the ranks are super volatile.
I know my responsibility.
Won't you take me to garbage time? Won't you take me to garbage time? Bum 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 bum. The Esper mirror match really sucks. Do 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 do. That was more miserable than a Sultai Mirror, which is impressive because the Sultai Mirror is pretty bad. That was thoroughly impressive. Yeah, that game was over. In fact, if you're playing to be in the top 1,000, you should be conceding more matches when you can't win them so you can play more matches of Magic. Quantity over quality is important for ladder systems. Esper Control is fine. This build of Esper Control is very close to the list that just got second at the PT. I shoved 2 Kayas into the main, replacing a Karn and something else. If you want to play Esper Control, knock your socks off. We're not going to play a ton more of it here on this channel. It's just the games aren't very interesting in my opinion, and the mirrors really suck. And people like playing Esper on the ladder, so you're gonna hit a good number of mirrors. All right, what are we doing? Moving along to Naya Angels. Yeah, let's suit up.